General Hospital spoilers teases that. Ethan may walk into Sidwell's deadliest trap, yet Ethan may not be the man who tries to kill Cullum. In my opinion, the real shock is much darker than that. I think Ethan could become the perfect fall guy in a trap designed by Sidwell, and if this theory plays out even close to what I'm imagining, Ethan's return to Port Charles could turn into a medical crisis, a family nightmare, and a dangerous cover-up all at once. I want to be very clear from the start, this is just my interpretation, I could be wrong. But based on the current emotional setup around Rocco, Lulu, Cullum, Jason, and Sidwell, I feel like General Hospital is quietly building toward a situation where Ethan walks into danger thinking he can protect his family, only to realize too late that someone else has already prepared the crime scene. Right now, the hottest part of the story is not just that Rocco is hiding something, it is that too many people may soon know enough pieces of the truth to become dangerous. Rocco Falconeri has been carrying the emotional weight of what happened with Ross Cullum at Pier 55. Jason Morgan has taken responsibility in a way that protects Rocco, at least for now. Britt Westbourne is aware of the situation and may do everything she can to keep Rocco from being destroyed by the fallout. But secrets on General Hospital rarely stay buried, especially when guilt, fear, and family loyalty are all colliding at the same time. That is where Ethan Lovett becomes important. I think Ethan being around Lulu's home is not just a casual family arrangement. To me, it feels like a storytelling device. Ethan is close enough to notice Rocco's fear, close enough to see Lulu's tension, and sharp enough to realize that something is being hidden. Ethan is not the kind of man who needs a full confession before he starts connecting dots. He lives by instinct. He reads rooms. He recognizes trouble because, honestly, trouble has followed him for most of his life. And that is why I believe Ethan may figure out that Cullum is not just a wounded man in a hospital bed. Cullum may be the living threat hanging over Rocco's future. I don't think Ethan's first move would necessarily be murder or direct revenge. That would be too simple, and frankly too easy for Sidwell to exploit. In my opinion, Ethan may decide to approach the Cullum situation like a con, not with brute force, but with strategy. He may want evidence. He may want proof that Cullum and Sidwell have been manipulating events. He may want something that can be used to silence Cullum without exposing Rocco. That is what makes this possible twist so dangerous. If Ethan goes to Cullum's hospital room, I don't think he goes there just to attack him. I think he may go there to find leverage. Maybe he wants Cullum's phone, maybe he wants a hidden recording, maybe he suspects that Cullum has kept some insurance policy in case Sidwell turns on him. And in my opinion, that suspicion would be completely reasonable because Cullum does not strike me as someone who trusts anyone fully. A man like that would keep secrets as weapons. But Sidwell is not a fool either. I feel like Sidwell may already be one step ahead. If Cullum knows too much, then Cullum becomes a liability. If Cullum can expose Sidwell, then Cullum is no longer just an ally. He is a problem. And if Ethan is emotionally connected to Lulu, Rocco, and Holly's history with Sidwell, then Ethan becomes the perfect person to blame if something goes wrong. This is where I think the real GH drama could explode. Imagine Ethan entering Cullum's hospital room and realizing something is off before he even speaks to Cullum. Maybe the IV line has been tampered with. Maybe there is a syringe that should not be there. Maybe the medication tray has something unmarked, something that looks planted. Ethan may immediately understand that he has not walked in before the attack. He has walked in after the setup has already begun. Then Sidwell appears. To me, that would be the perfect moment. Sidwell catches Ethan standing near Cullum, possibly holding the suspicious syringe or trying to inspect it. From the outside, Ethan looks guilty. From Sidwell's point of view, the trap is almost too clean. Ethan has motive. Ethan has a temper. Ethan has family loyalty. Ethan hates Sidwell because of Holly. Ethan may have reason to protect Rocco. Everything about the scene can be twisted against him. And that is why I think Sidwell may not even need to raise his voice. He can simply look at Ethan and know the damage is already done. In my opinion, Sidwell's greatest weapon is not violence, it is control. He knows how to make other people look unstable. He knows how to use emotion against them. If he can make Ethan look like a desperate uncle trying to eliminate Cullum, then Sidwell gets two benefits at once. Cullum is weakened or silenced, and Ethan is turned into the suspect. But I don't think Cullum stays passive in this scenario. I feel like Cullum waking up at the wrong moment could change everything. He may be weak, but he is not harmless. If he realizes that Sidwell is willing to sacrifice him, Cullum may start talking. Maybe he threatens to expose Sidwell. Maybe he says that if anything happens to him, information about Rocco will be released. Maybe he hints that he has proof of what truly happened at Pier 55. That kind of line would terrify everyone in the room. Ethan would understand that Cullum cannot die. At least not yet. Not because Ethan cares about Cullum, but because Cullum may be the only person who can prove Rocco is being targeted or manipulated. Sidwell, on the other hand, may realize that Cullum is now too dangerous to keep alive. And that is when the struggle could happen. I do not think Ethan needs to be written as reckless here. In my interpretation, Ethan may actually be trying to prevent the worst possible outcome. Sidwell could reach for the syringe, not to frame Ethan anymore, but to finish Cullum. Ethan lunges to stop him. Cullum panics, equipment crashes, the hospital room turns chaotic. In the confusion, the needle or poisoned syringe strikes Ethan instead. That is the twist I think would hit hardest. Ethan came in trying to protect Rocco. He may have believed he was smart enough to outplay Sidwell. But suddenly, Ethan becomes the one collapsing on the floor, poisoned by a weapon that was never meant to be used on him. He is not the attacker. He is not the villain. He is the witness Sidwell never wanted, and now he's fighting for his life. I feel like this would instantly raise the stakes for Lulu. Lulu has already been under emotional pressure because of Rocco. If Ethan ends up unconscious, possibly near death, she may blame herself. She may wonder if letting Ethan get close to her family put him in the line of fire. Dante may react differently. I think Dante could assume, at least at first, that Ethan made a reckless move. Dante already has reasons to distrust Ethan's influence. So if Ethan is found in Cullum's room with a syringe nearby, Dante might fear that Ethan tried to solve the Rocco problem in the worst possible way. And that misunderstanding could create some excellent drama. Because, from my perspective, the audience would know Ethan was not simply acting like a criminal, he was caught in something bigger. But the characters may not know that right away. Lulu may defend Ethan. Dante may demand answers. Britt may focus on the medical evidence. Jason may quietly realize that this is exactly the kind of frame-up that could expose Rocco if no one handles it carefully. Britt's role could be especially interesting here. I think Britt may notice that Ethan's symptoms do not match a normal accident. Maybe the poison or drug works too specifically. Maybe it causes respiratory distress, neurological shutdown, or a delayed collapse that looks like an overdose or allergic reaction. Britt is smart enough to question the obvious story. If Sidwell claims Ethan attacked Cullum and accidentally poisoned himself, Britt may be the first person to say, "No, something about this does not fit." That could put Britt in danger too. In my opinion, Sidwell's plan only works if the story stays simple. Ethan entered the room, Ethan attacked Cullum, Ethan got hurt during the struggle. But if Britt starts proving that the syringe was planted, or that the drug came from outside the hospital, then Sidwell's entire narrative begins to crack. And Cullum may become the wild card. I don't think Cullum would suddenly become noble. That would not feel believable to me. But I do think fear could make him useful. If Cullum realizes Sidwell almost killed him, he may decide to bargain. He could offer information in exchange for protection. He could tell Britt, Elizabeth, or even Jason that Ethan was not the one who brought the poison. He could reveal that Sidwell wanted him silenced before he could expose the truth about Rocco. But Cullum would not do that for free. He may demand immunity. He may demand safe passage. He may demand money. In my opinion, Cullum turning against Sidwell would not make him a hero. It would make him a desperate survivor. and desperate survivors on General Hospital can be more dangerous than loyal villains. The emotional center, however, remains Rocco. I think Rocco could spiral if Ethan is hurt. He may believe that everyone who tries to protect him gets destroyed. Jason sacrificed his freedom. Britt is carrying dangerous knowledge. Lulu is cracking under pressure. Now Ethan may be lying in a hospital bed because he tried to get too close to the truth. That kind of guilt could push Rocco toward confessing, running away, or making a reckless deal with someone he should not trust. This is where I feel the story could become even more heartbreaking. Rocco may not understand the full adult game being played around him. He may only see the damage. And if Sidwell realizes Rocco is emotionally unstable, he may try to use that. In my opinion, Sidwell does not need to physically threaten Rocco to be terrifying. He can simply suggest that more people will suffer if Rocco talks. That alone could be enough to silence him. Meanwhile, Ethan surviving would create another layer of danger. If Ethan wakes up and remembers even part of what happened, Sidwell has a new problem. Ethan may remember the syringe. He may remember Sidwell trying to reach Cullum. He may remember Cullum saying something about evidence. Even if Ethan's memory is fragmented, one detail could be enough to bring the whole scheme down. That is why I think Ethan's recovery may not be peaceful. If Sidwell believes Ethan can identify him, Ethan may become a target again. The hospital, usually a place of rescue, could become a second trap. Someone may try to alter his medication. Someone may try to move him. Someone may try to make his condition look like a natural decline. Again, I could be wrong. This is just my interpretation. But I feel that Ethan being poisoned accidentally in a struggle would be a stronger story than Ethan simply attacking Cullum. It preserves Ethan's loyalty without making him look blindly violent. It makes Sidwell more calculating. It gives Cullum a reason to turn on his own ally. And it puts Rocco's secret under even more pressure. Most importantly, it gives Lulu a devastating choice. Does she protect Rocco at all costs, even if Ethan's name is dragged through the mud? Or does she push for the truth, knowing that the truth could expose her son? In my opinion, that is the kind of moral conflict General Hospital does best. No one gets a clean answer. Every choice hurts someone. So my prediction is this. Ethan may not be walking into Cullum's room as an assassin. I think he may be walking into a trap that Sidwell has already built. The syringe, the timing, the hospital setting, the witness problem, all of it could be designed to make Ethan look guilty while Sidwell escapes clean. But if Ethan survives, and if Cullum decides self-preservation matters more than loyalty, Sidwell's control over this situation may start to collapse. And the biggest question I keep coming back to is this. If Rocco finally realizes Ethan nearly died because of the secret everyone is trying to bury, will he stay silent? Or will guilt push him to tell the truth before Sidwell destroys someone else?